hadn't fully believed in myself enough. And I think that's probably why I didn't make it as a professional footballer. I probably lacked that self-belief and conviction in my own ability. Even though I trained, I had the skills and the technique to be a pro, but it was my mindset, my internal beliefs that were got in the way. And I think that's been a pattern for me in business as well and in other areas. So a big part of my journey now is really stepping into like, I'm here to serve on the biggest stage possible.
The reason I do it in coffee shops and I try not to do it in studios is I want the conversation, like ideally I'd have no camera, or you and I wouldn't see the camera, but also it's the live audience thing. Like this is a live audience and it works so well. Yeah, because I've tested it with people who have just checked out clips and they're like, I love that part.
It gives it a bit more like organicness and naturalness, you know?
Yeah.
Like you're just at a cafe, jamming. Yeah. It removes like the formality of like, oh, you're on a podcast or whatever, you know? It's cool. Yeah.
So that's why I do what I do. But look, Jordan, here, I really mean it. Thank you so much. Like Maddie texted me yesterday, as I said. She was like, I've got this guy. He gave me a coaching session. Just met him first time and it was amazing. I think you should definitely talk to him. She sent me your profile today and I was like, wow. And then 20 minutes later we got the camera and mics together and here we are.
Here we are, just like that.
So like, no, Jordan, like with Saturdays, this is all about people who are kind of following their passions in life.
Yeah.
And for some people that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
And the goal of this is to chat about your own story, like where you've reached today, what you do, and hopefully, I'm sure there's going to be many, but who will be kind of inspired to take action themselves in their own field from hearing you because you're following your dreams. So kick off. Would love to know more about you. Tell me about Jordan. Who are you? Where are you from? What's brought you here today?
Oh man, thanks for having me on, bro. It's an honor. Bro, I'm from Western Australia. Grew up, born and raised, and I'm a lover of all things nature, sport, food, people. I have a podcast as well, so I love doing this too, just sitting down and connecting with people. And I played semi-pro soccer back in Australia for most of my teenage years.
No way.
Yeah, and then worked as a graduate accountant at Deloitte, and then decided to just kind of leave that life behind and travel to Toronto. I worked and lived in Canada for a couple of years, and that's when I decided that I wanted to pursue my passions full time. I was done with like accounting and finance. It was not my thing. I never really loved it.
When did you all of that is like, they're huge life events and like not an easy thing to do, but what year did you move to Canada?
In 2017.
2017.
Yeah, had decided that I was ready to move, and at the time I just had like amazing season in soccer. I was the top goal scorer for my team, and I was
What position did you play?
I was like attacking midfield, like centre forward.
Okay.
And I was like,
you were the talented guy. You were the guy I passed the ball to. Yeah.
So as I was kind of prepping for my journey to quit my job, I had no real plan, but I loosely had a bit of a backup plan to go back and play college soccer in the States. So I got an agent to help me find scholarships in America, and I quit my job and I flew out to the States. I was in Canada initially, and then I was driving to the States to do some trials at some of these colleges. And there was like a crossroads moment where a few colleges wanted me to go play for them and do my MBA and go back to school and go down that path and play this dream of college soccer. Or at the time it was like a cool opportunity. Or it was like stay in Toronto with my girlfriend and kind of pursue this path of maybe something. I actually think it was the relationship was the crossroads, really. If I went to college again and played soccer, I don't know if we would have stayed together in our relationship. So
is your girlfriend from Australia or Canada?
She's from Canada, yeah.
Okay, so did you move to Canada for her, or did you meet over there?
No, we met over there in 2015 when I was on the exchange program.
Okay. Yeah. And you're getting all of these opportunities to come play football down in the States. That's amazing, first of all. But then the relationship had reached a crossroads then, and you're like, okay, so you said no to these football clubs, did you?
Yeah, because my original dream as a kid was to be a professional footballer.
Any team that you would have loved to have played for?
Any Premier League team, I'd have been over the moon. I was no diehard like United or Liverpool fan or anything like that. But It was more like when I realized in that moment when I was in Canada and I had the option to go play college football, I realized that I wasn't passionate enough.
You didn't.
It was like an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
And that was the moment where I realized, hey, if I'm really going to go for this, it needs to be a 10, and it's not. And that's when my football career kind of came to an end, sadly, at 23.
At 20, yeah. Did you have any, like, because like you had options and people, like for me when I was 25, I started a social enterprise, because I was really passionate about helping kids get to college, to university, who hadn't come from a background where university had been a possibility, and there was very high dropout rates, Jordan, for people like that. And ran it for 2 years. We raised a bunch of funding. We had 40,000 students go through a mentorship program. But like I'm 24 or 25, I didn't know how to like scale something or make money. There was something there, but I got offered a big shiny job in LinkedIn. There's a lot of tech companies in Dublin, and I took the job. And I was, like, you were an 8.5 for soccer. I was like a 6 for LinkedIn, or a 6, like LinkedIn was a 6 for LinkedIn, but I took it because I was scared. So like you went through a lot of fear about making that decision.
Yeah, I feel like it's a big part of it. Is like so much of it is learning to trust the leap of faith. There's these mini leaps of faith that at least I made along the way, quitting my corporate job, deciding that I was going to play college soccer.
Hang on, the corporate job was before, sorry to interrupt you, the corporate job was while you were getting offered the soccer contracts as well?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So I'd quit the corporate job, flew to Canada, not knowing what I was going to do, and then I had the option to go play college soccer.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't fully aligned. It wasn't an all-in thing, so I said no, and that's when I went, all right, well, what am I going to do? And that's when I started looking for new jobs in Toronto.
Yeah, and then, okay. And again, I hope you don't mind me asking, but with your girlfriend at the time, it sounded like it was maybe pretty early on, was it? Or
yeah, relatively. Yeah. We've been together, I think, like 3 years at the time.
But like was she supportive of, like, it was like, look, up to you with the decision, or like?
Oh yeah, for sure. She was backing me.
Yeah.
But I think I knew deep down if I went to college, I don't know if we would have stayed together.
For
it
sure.
Would have been a big tough. It would have been a tough ask. Yeah.
No, I did long distance for 2 years, and like with me, with anyone, with my mates or with a partner, I have to be around them. I hate, like, for me, I'm a Taurus, and like I've only kind of learned more about astrology in the last year, Jordan, but I am very like, I like being around people. I like touch. I just love having my friends and people about.
Yeah.
So I like having people around, but long distance was tough for me. I found that. You definitely made the right decision.
100%. Yeah, because that's ultimately shaped my my work now, my career.
Oh, good.
Now. So,
we have it on. This is the most rickety tripod stand I could find
so
in Santa Teresa.
So yeah, no, it all worked out for the best as it always does, and those 2 years in Toronto changed everything for me.
Awesome.
It was a life-changing time.
Alright, just making. You look good, but I just want to. We can change it up as you go along.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
Cool. So you say no to football, and then were you still in the accountancy firm at that time, or how did that work?
No, I had left. Didn't have a job, didn't know what I was going to do, and was just kind of trusting, bro, going with the intuitive feeling that I had that I just needed to be out there. And then I ultimately did this. I did the same thing. I was applying for all these jobs, not really sure what I was going to do, and then the anxiety was building because I was eating away at my savings. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do here.
Yeah.
And then I got tempted to go back to the old industry, which is like accounting and payroll software and all that. And I found this job for this startup company, this HR startup firm that wanted to hire me.
Yeah.
And they had offered me like this 80K a year salary, and at the same time I was going through a job application for this like wellness studio. It was this like healing studio downtown Toronto. It was so aligned. It was like the dream job. It was exactly the thing I was into at the time. I was so passionate about all this stuff.
The wellness piece?
Wellness stuff. Yeah. Alternative medicine and all that. And but the job was like $14 an hour. It was an admin job. Like that was the only role they could fit me into. So I was like, all right, $14 an hour or 80K a year salary. One is like fully aligned with my heart. The other is like going back to the work that I didn't really love. And I ended up choosing the wellness studio. Like I had to go for it. That's why I came to Canada. I was like, I needed to pursue this path, and ultimately through that decision, that's how I met my first life coach. That's how I met some of my mentors. That's how I just got exposed to this whole world of personal development and transformation and all these things. And that was the springboard for the work that I do now as a coach.
And that's kind of brings brings it to this part, like to nearly present day. But like, if you don't mind me saying, like, you come across as someone who's like obviously a high performer, like playing professional soccer, getting offered all of those contracts. Like, I was very good at soccer, but only on my PlayStation. Like, I would have loved to have done what you did. Because I was a United fan, Jordan. I dreamed of playing for United. Went there a bunch of times,
wow.
but like doing that, like even getting into like an accountancy firm, like one of the big ones, like that, and like that's a high standard you deliver. But again, you don't you like, if I heard all of that first, I'm like, there's no way maybe this person wouldn't be into wellness. And you mentioned listening to your heart there, which is something that I've accessed in the last 2 years a lot. But is that like, was that always the case for you, or when did that change happen?
No, not always. I think that probably had started slowly after the first breakup that I had when I was like 19. I really feel like for a lot of men, heartbreak is the thing that either destroys them or turns it into a spiritual awakening. And in my case, heartbreak was the entry point to that spiritual awakening at 19. And after that point, there was always like a slight opening, and that opening got bigger and bigger and bigger as I got around the right people and things like that. But yeah, man, like growing up, just training, playing soccer, going to the gym with the boys, like partying, I was so disconnected from my emotions. There was a lot of buried stuff back there. But as I went deeper into the path, I knew, I was like, oh wow, there's like all this suppressed anger, all this suppressed shame from my past. And you know, it was a journey to go into all that. It's,
I had the a little bit, well, many years after 19. It's funny now because I'm way happier in myself. I don't, like, old me would have been like, oh, you were like this for so many years when you're young. Like, I'm 35 now, but like not an ounce of me feels that way. I'm just like, that is just my journey.
Yeah.
And like that is, people ask me like why, it's, there are more, my mates are like, you're glowing. They're like, do you mind me asking what you're doing? I'm like, I'm just happy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like so attuned to my heart, and like that is for me, that is like, because you make it sound easy, and it's because I'm talking to someone today who is on the journey they're supposed to be on, but it's so hard to get on that path, man. So like, the fact that you're able to access that and build that from that age and being aware of that is amazing. Was there family or brothers or sisters or friends who were like helping you like kind of make those first kind of couple of steps, or how did that look?
Yeah, there was like one of my good best friends at the time who came on exchange with me. And he was a big influence on me. He kind of gifted me Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, at the time. I remember how much that just like
I've read
opened
The Power
up
of
my
Now.
mind. The New Earth was the one that just like, whoa, like this is life changing. And his mum was like really into Wayne Dyer and a lot of other spiritual books, and she had passed on a lot of these books to me, and I was just like reading everything I could get. And she was kind of like she was a good mentor for me as well at that time, where I was like, not really many people could understand this path that I was on. Like, you know, because I'm at like one of the best accounting firms in the world, and most people like, just stay there, bro. Like, stick it out. Like, you're gonna make, you know, $200K a year
You'll
salary.
make partner.
It's just, why would you leave? And I was like, nah. This isn't for me. I gotta get the fuck out of here. So yeah, I did have some people that were helping me, but it was like kind of isolating myself a little bit from people who didn't understand the path that I was on, and I feel that was necessary, actually.
Were you, maybe it's the wrong word, but were you always so mature? Because like, that's a very mature standpoint to be, like, to have, like, you're like, you sort of knew the direction you wanted to go on. You recognize that there's individuals or places that's not my message right now, and then were you always so mature? Or
I think it was the first heartbreak, bro. Like,
really?
The first heartbreak at 19, it was just the depth and the intensity of how in love I was with this woman. And when that relationship ended, I just went through, I had to go through a lot of emotional development because I was so attached to her in the relationship. And that was the greatest thing that could have happened to me. So it allowed me to go through a lot of early lessons that I think a lot of men go through later on in life.
For sure.
On an emotional level. So I got a lot of emotional maturity early on. Yeah. Which is why probably now I'm a coach for men in relationships and things like that, because I just learned all these lessons early.
Perfect. That's why I jumped when I saw your Instagram and I read more about your story just before we had this chat. Like, me included, so many men were like, some can't, many kind of discovered later on, we can't access our emotions, we can't talk about the relationships that are important to us. So how long have you been like in the space that you're in, Jordan? Like, what is that? Like, if I'm to come to you, like, how can you maybe make me better, or kind of see work like chat together?
Yeah, I mean, the space that I'm in is, some people, the broad term of it is coaching.
Yeah.
But the way I like to work with people is like helping them understand where they're getting in their own way of their like unique expression coming through in the world. So everything comes back to that, but like from a relationship lens, I only focused on that the last few years. But what I just realized was we will have something unique to bring to the world. Like I feel like that's for sure. And I feel like so much of the journey is learning to peel back the layers that are getting in the way of us knowing what that unique thing is. And what I found is it's a relationship with God. It's a relationship with a higher power.
Yeah.
So it's like, where in your life are you blocking that relationship with this higher power? And that's what a guide or a mentor or a coach can help you see some of maybe the subconscious ways or the things you can't even see right now.
For sure.
Ways of thinking, ways of behaving, shifts in your identity to help open up that flow of energy to come through even more. And the more you open it up, the more you just become unstoppable. You become like a magnetic force in the world.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to give. That's what I offer to people through my work, is like helping them tap into that.
You're kind of underplaying it. Like you're living proof that like if you follow your journey, like that magnetism comes to you. Like talk about, like you said, how long are you in business doing working and talking with men? Like how long has that been going on, Jordan?
6 years now.
6 years. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And like, was there any pop off point, or really like, oh wow, this has grown far even beyond me? Like, was there any moment like that?
Yeah, there was a few. I think in 2021 when I first started going viral online.
Was that COVID time? Or?
Yeah, during COVID.
Okay.
We were stuck in Western Australia, and I was like, TikTok at the time was really blowing up, and my girlfriend was like, yo, you should start making some content on TikTok. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna fucking give this thing a go. I'm gonna really, really blow this thing up. And in early 2020, I had a friend randomly pass away from a motorbike crash, which was a big catapulted me deeper into learning about death, and my spirituality got deeper from that, because the last time I hung out with him, he recommended this book called Many Lives, Many Masters. We chatted. He actually asked me about it.
Sorry, what was that book again?
The book was called Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss, and he told me about that book. He asked me, these are the last words I ever heard from him. He's like, dude, do you believe in life after death? I was like, yeah, I think so. This is at 2020. I was still kind of figuring this shit out. And he's like, yeah, dude, you should check out this book called Many Lives, Many Masters. And I was like, yeah, man, I will. Like, yeah, thanks. I'll see you around. And then that was it. Like 4 weeks later, I got a phone call that he'd had a motorbike crash, same age as me. Yeah. And I had ordered the book, and I had the book waiting for me at home, unopened. So I was like, holy shit, man, like, I'm gonna go read the book. It's like Nathan is he's passing this information on to me from the grave, kind of thing. And then 1 year later, my grandfather passed away, and I picked up the book again and decided to read the information, because it just like spoke to me. Just like my soul just absorbed this information. And then a couple of days later, I pulled out my phone and I was like, I'm going to just tell the story about how I discovered this book and this information, how my friend died, and he was almost like speaking to me beyond the grave. I tell this story, I press post on TikTok, go to sleep thinking nothing of it, and then I wake up the next day and I have 20,000 followers, and the video reached 1.4 million people. And I was like, wow, this is... that's pretty divine. Like this message, his life, the meaning of his life was almost like I got to absorb so much of the message of what he was trying to portray, and then I got to share that message with millions of people. So it's like, it was a cool moment where his death still impacted millions of people indirectly through 100%. Me. So yeah, that was a big pivotal moment in the journey, bro, no doubt.
You've kind of, more of a side point, but as you were talking about COVID and being online or being at home back in Western Australia, and the whole world is shut down. A friend from like two moments happened. There was two funerals during the COVID time for me, Jordan. One was where my best mate's dad died, and he had cancer for a long time. And this is how desensitized I was, and I'm so grateful for where I am now. But I couldn't cry for myself. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you hear that a lot with your clients, but I remember my best mate's wife rang me, now wife, to tell, like, hey, he's gone. And I remember I cried for his mum, so the guy's husband, or the girl, my best mate's mum and the husband. I cried for her, cried for like my mate, and I cried for the sister, because they were a 4-person family. Yeah. And like I only realized years later I couldn't cry for myself. Yeah. And then like another time, another buddy of mine, like we wouldn't have been great friends, but we were like great friends in school. Like he sat where you're sitting now for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I would have been in his house. I knew his mum, I knew his sisters. I'd be over there having food, like just happy memories. And like I get a call and my mate is like, he's after dying. And I thought I made a joke. I'm like, dude, that's so dark. And he's like, no, I'm really dead serious. And I remember, again, 6 hours later, I was like, didn't know what shock was, Jordan. And I was in shock for like 6 hours, thought I could I used to distract myself by work.
Yeah.
So I put myself into work and tried to do more. But I remember I was out in a restaurant with my ex, just down the road from us. And I like just started bawling, crying at the table.
Wow.
And I just like couldn't stop. But it's a gift now. Like I still find it tough to cry. I do, but it's such a release when it happens.
Yeah.
And it's such it's more than a healthy thing to do. Like, I think it's beautiful.
Big time.
But just you gave me that. Like I literally was transported back in time when you were talking there.
Yeah, man. It's sometimes death really teaches us more about life than anything else.
That's definitely. I didn't know that was not weird, not being able to cry. I just couldn't like. It was all surface level, and that's for me like the way I describe maybe problems and maybe some people that you work with every day. But it's like those problems, if you don't deal with them directly or allow them to come up, it's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah.
They're gonna pop up in different parts of your life.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've ever seen that yourself with you or in your past or with people that you inspire throughout with what you do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everything that goes unlooked at will reveal itself in some other way, because what I believe is the subconscious is trying to resolve all of the wounding from the past.
Yeah.
So whenever there's something that you see in your reality that you don't like or that triggers you, it's just your subconscious trying to show you what needs your attention.
Of course.
So when you have that awareness, you're like, oh, cool. Like, oh, shit, I keep getting keep getting cheated on. Like, what the hell? Like, why does it keep happening? Like, you can think it's something happening out there, or you can go, what part of me is creating this? What part of me is unresolved here? And the moment you do that, then it's like, cool, you can start to clear all these like energetic wounds, emotional wounds from the past, from whenever they occurred.
Can I, I just wanted to share that thing about because you brought me back in time, so I would have forgotten to share it, Jordan, but what I love to understand more about is you've talked about like divine timing and a higher power, like what is that? How is that? Like what does a person do to try discover their own higher power or divine timing?
Yeah. I feel like it is the most important thing, especially for men, for everyone, but for men especially. It's like you need to have that relationship with the Divine Father, the Holy Spirit,
of course,
whatever you want to call it. I wasn't really into religion. I was born Catholic. I went to a Catholic school, went to church and all of that.
Myself,
I never really was connected to the faith in that way until I went on my own journey after I quit my job and all that. But I've recently come back to some religious principles, because I feel like some of the religious principles help deepen your relationship with God.
Definitely, yeah.
And in this time, it's so important that we have commitments or tenets that we adhere to in our life to strengthen our relationship with faith.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have that, then you're going to be pulled around by all these like impulses and earthly desires that keep us trapped on like these lower energy centers in the world, right? So as you start to have these commitments, you break some of the addictions or the chains to the material world.
Yeah.
An example might be maybe you'll fast. I think it's in the Bible they talk about fasting.
Yeah.
Right? So you might fast from technology or fast from food, abstain from something so that you can purify your vessel and connect deeper with the message that God's trying to bring through.
Okay.
So if you think of the body as the temple is the temple of God, our body. Like we don't have to go to a physical temple or church.
Yeah.
The temple is the body. If you take care of this temple in a particular way, you can start to access higher frequencies, higher realms. And for me recently, bro, like 24 hours off tech, I do a Sabbath. In Judaism, they call it the Shabbat. They have a 24-hour no tech.
I love that.
And I think I've been doing it every Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. And it's just like, wow, man, like my relationship with God and my clarity and my focus has just gone through the roof. So that's one example of a commitment.
And by the way, I'm just thinking like, I can't imagine what it's like for you with the level of following you have.
Yeah, it's more challenging.
But I just can't put myself in your shoes, Jordan, because I started a tech group with 70 people here in Santa Teresa, and it's really popular. Everyone meets up once a week, but I'm starting to get recognized from it. And like I came up to you, I cold approached you when you were sitting there at the laptop. You're obviously very friendly, but I just can't imagine how many different areas people are trying to talk to Jordan. So that is amazing. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It becomes, you know, the moment you have a big following, like everyone thinks it's an epic thing. You think it's great, but the dark side of it is you are even more. It's even harder to get off the digital world, because now you have this digital identity, you have this digital persona that is like feeding your ego.
Of course, yeah.
So it's like I have to be so careful at times of how I use it, because otherwise I'm so entangled in that world, and that world isn't real.
No,
it's not real. Yeah.
Wow, yeah. That's very true and poignant.
If you just look at most influencers, bro, and I've met many influencers, or you can observe them, you'll see them around. Most of them aren't very happy.
Yeah.
They're portraying a life that appears to be very glamorous and amazing, but most of them aren't happy.
Yeah.
Because when you're plugged into a digital world like that and you're influenced by the opinions and thoughts of others, it's fucking draining.
100%.
It sucks the life force out of you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just you got to be real careful with how you use it.
You've really, I know it's there's more to it, but like, I actually haven't said this to anyone because I'm like kind of ashamed of it, but like my average screen time is about 7 hours a day because I'm on emails, I'm on Instagram, I'm trying to get in touch with guests. I'm also on TikTok scrolling.
Yeah.
And I know it's bad for my soul, but I am going to introduce what you do from like Saturday sundown until Sunday.
I do Friday sundown to Saturday sundown because technically before paganism took over the days of the week and the naming of the days of the week, the seventh day was Saturday. So if you go back to the way it was, the seventh day was Saturday.
Okay.
So if to really align with this spiritual intentionality of the Sabbath, which is to be on the seventh day, it would be Saturday.
Okay.
So that's why I do that rather than Sunday. But most, Christians think that the seventh day is Sunday, which is why on Sunday God said you should take a rest. But and we all know the Bible's been misconstrued and watered down with all of the different delusion, but the essence of it is Saturday.
Can I ask your advice on something? And again, don't talk about this because but I know there's people out there like me. Like when I'm going through like say a tough time, like I recently a girl that I was only in a short-term piece for, like relationship with, but she finished with me there a couple of days ago. But like the more I'm in an uncontrollable state, Jordan, or in a difficult time in my life, I'll lean more on astrology and I'll look for signs. I'm like, can you tell me what date this is going to like resolve itself, or what should I do then? Like how. And sometimes I'm looking at it way too much, and I'm looking at, all of a sudden I've looked at like 6 TikToks about Taurus with star sign for this week coming up. But how do you regulate to, like, what do you do there?
Yeah, I mean, there is benefit to understanding astrology and the different changes of the cosmic patterns of energy that are occurring. There's no doubt about it. It's worthwhile understanding that, but I think what's more important is learning how to feel safety in your body, learning how to ground and regulate your emotions and all of that. And that's different for everyone, but I think, man, the main thing is remove the things that are taking you out of your body. And obviously we need to use tech in certain ways, but for me it's been about having the right boundaries around how I use my phone and my devices, because they were the things that's the main thing that takes me out of my body, is that I'm on my phone too much, and then it makes it harder for me. Then I have to come back and be like, all right, let me meditate, or just like ground back into myself and tune back into what's true for me right now. The more you're on devices and distractions, the more you have to prioritize things that get you back in your body. So it's if you can reduce the distractions and the stimulants and the things that numb you, then naturally it's a lot easier to be in tune with your body and be like, oh, I need to just rest right now, or I need to go for a walk, I need to move, I need to shake, I need to yell. Like, you're more in tune with what the body needs to just move through this energy. That's all it is. It's just an energy trying to be expressed in some way. But it's a relationship. You're having a relationship with your body and what your body needs, and that just requires sensitivity.
And maybe 2 kind of thoughts there, or questions. For the people who are like watching this, like some people, with me, I was totally desensitized. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll meditate, and I probably have some benefit, but I might not carry that again. Like, if you're that desensitized to what you're saying, Jordan, like how do you start? Like how do you, because you're in a hole and it's
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see the world through those eyes. Like
Yeah.
how do you even start, man?
Yeah, if you're desensitized, then it's going to be really rough when you start, because the boredom will, even for me now when I do my tech stuff, it's like I just get bored. For the first hour or two, I'm like bored as fuck. I want to check my phone off.
Yeah.
But you got to endure it. Be with the boredom. Be with the pain. Be with the, the anxiety. Like that is that masculine, healthy masculine energy that we lacked from our fathers growing up.
Yeah.
That could show us, if you have a healthy male role model in your life, they show you how to endure pain.
For sure.
Not just physical pain, emotional pain. It's like, hey, we're going to be with this. We're going to sit down and we're going to feel it. We're just going to look at it and hold it and embrace it. We need to retrain that to ourselves. It's a masculine energy that we get to retrain, instead of just like immediately wanting to distract or numb or avoid. I said, no, let me just fucking sit with this boredom right now.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. Or an hour, you know?
It's, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Putting your phone away and putting the external distractions away are good. One, like things I found, my default, dude, even when I wasn't internally well, was like exercise and stuff. Like even before I started my business or I started doing the podcast. Well, not at this stage, but years ago, man, I did a bloody Ironman.
Wow.
Like I trained for that for 9 months, learned how to swim. But like inside, I was doing it for validation from others and.
Yeah.
Validation to like, oh, that's a thing a strong person should do, and I was really determined. But like I would trade that experience for anything I feel now, like without no questions asked. But sometimes I will over-index on maybe training or fitness. So for me, like journaling is really good. Yeah. Even drawing, because I've discovered that. Breath work. Even here, I discovered Wim Hof from Santa Teresa. I'd never done it before.
Wow.
And the phone thing, man, is something I know that I'll need to remove. Yeah.
Yeah, just I like if I can give myself 3-4 hours in the morning with no, checking my, not having my phone off airplane mode. I know that helps me a lot.
Yeah.
I drink tea. I start my days with tea ceremonies, and they help me a lot.
Okay.
So I have these practices and rituals that help my nervous system stay really calm and centered. And I wasn't always like that. I used to be caffeinated all the fucking time and that. But
I'm like that now. Like.
Yeah, I mean, some people can get away with it, but I know my system is much too sensitive for that. So it's unnecessary half the time for me.
And then like even bringing it forward to like maybe the other person who's more in their body like you and more in touch with themselves, like. How do they sustain that or maintain that? Like for someone who's at that level, like that other side of the coin, what should they be doing or thinking or feeling?
For someone who's more in their body?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Well, they get to feel into where's life trying to move me right now? What needs to be expressed?
Where is life trying to move me? I like that. Yeah.
Like there's always something that's trying to emerge out of us, I believe. Like new levels of creativity or expansion in some direction. So it's like, all right, where is that? What is that?
Okay.
If you don't know what that is right now, then it's like, cool, let me just wait and listen.
Yeah.
And see what comes through.
I found that so hard, the waiting and listening. And when I was in the big tech job, I did everything, bro. I was like, my mates always said, you're so good, like you're so quick-witted. Like you should try improv, and I had dreams of being on SNL, and
wow.
I did a whole improv course. I even went on to doing like some stand-up. I tried all of that, but in my heart, I know for a fact I'm like, this isn't me, and it wasn't. I felt discomfort, but there was a difference between discomfort and knowing what my purpose was.
Yeah.
But like I tried all of that. I noticed that your water is. Do you want me to get you another water while we're?
Mate, it's all good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Keep flowing.
This is a great conversation, by the way.
Yeah, man, this is awesome.
Like you're leaving Santa Teresa today, Costa Rica. Like what's next for you? Like where are you kind of like where do you see your world going?
Yeah, man, it's always an interesting time for me because I've been traveling for over 3 years now and really with no plan of where to go or where I'm going, but I always seem to get nudged or pulled in certain directions, and when I know it's time to move, it's time to go. And I've been here 2 months, and Colorado has been on my list because I had a good friend who just moved out there, and I have a few other friends out there, and I was there a couple of years ago and really liked it. I was like, I want to come back here. So I'm going to do some snowboarding and connecting with some friends and be there for a couple of weeks and Yeah, right now I was just spending some time away from my partner Amanda, not because our
Yeah.
relationship's in a bad spot or anything, but we just sometimes like to have this independence
Of course,
that I think
yeah.
is so beneficial for our intimacy and our attraction when we have this space. So yeah, spending a couple of weeks away from her, and then we'll probably reunite again in April, in May.
In April or May?
Sorry, in Lisbon.
In
April.
Lisbon?
Yeah.
Awesome place.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to surf in Ericeira?
I haven't surfed there yet, but I've been there, and I probably will go there this summer. Have you?
I did, like with my whole, I separated from my partner there last January, and it's something that should have happened a long time ago. Still never easy. But that was the year I kind of I solo traveled properly for the first time. Dude, this, right now I'm 3 months almost in Santa Teresa. This is the longest I've ever been away from Ireland or Dublin.
Wow, let's go, man. Congrats.
And it's wild. You're talking about that's why I really I have many different. I hope I'm not putting assumptions in your head or how you are, but you strike me as a person that you've really taken life. You've grabbed life. 19 years old, you had that decision. Fucking hell, that's strong, man. I was not like that for many years, Jordan, for a wide variety of reasons, right? But that happened to me, 35. I'm if I'm ever going to do anything with so much of my life changing, leaving the tech job, my relationship of 10 years or 12 years ending, now is the time to really try understand Patrick more. So, dude, I say all that because I traveled. The trip started extending. It went from a long weekend to a week to a month, and now I'm in Santa Teresa 3 months. And now, I'm going to Medellin to talk to an amazing chef next week. But dude, I have to tell my brain, I have to tell it at the start. I used to be so nervous approaching people, like girls, or to talk about the podcast, or whatever it may be, even maybe asking the time. But every time I did those little steps, I would write it down. And then all of a sudden, Jordan, seriously, it was and I love how beautiful life is. 4 or 5 months later, just absentmindedly, I look at my list, and I have the little things. I don't want to be compassionate with myself. I'm that wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
But it was a big deal to Patrick at that time. Now it's oh my God, I seriously believe, dude, you can do anything you want in life. You really can. You really can. So
no, that's amazing, man. I'm happy for you. And so you'll do Colombia, and then what?
That's the thing. I'm Colombia, and then I'll come back here until April 30th. One of my best friends is getting married at the end of May, and then another one in June, and then his stag is just before his wedding at the end of May. So I want to be around and present for that time, so I'll be there. But cool. I think collection 2 will either be Saturdays goes to Hollywood, and I think I'll try interview people in that domain and where the home of content creation is.
Nice.
And let's see how that goes, Jordan. And then just kind of going from there. I would love to build out a community of people who want to follow their dreams, and no matter what stage they're at, whether they're 19 or 35 or older or whatever it is, they can do it.
They can do it. Yeah.
And so that's kind of where
that's exciting, brother. Yeah, really, really cool. Yeah, you're doing great things.
I really want to ask you one more, because I think you're very humble. You definitely are, because the things you've described are not easy. Playing professional soccer, managing accountancy, moving countries, being brave to develop your relationship and develop your relationship with God and talking about it. That stuff isn't easy. You're obviously very ambitious. How do you why are you like that, and what does ambition look like for Jordan in the next while?
Yeah, I feel humbleness and humility, for whatever reason, is something that I
can feel it
really lean towards. Yeah, and I think probably to my own detriment at times, because there's times where I haven't fully believed in myself enough. And I think that's probably why I didn't make it as a professional footballer. I probably lacked that self-belief and conviction in my own ability. Even though I trained, I had the skills and the technique to be a pro. But it was my mindset, my internal beliefs that got in the way. And I think that's been a pattern for me in business as well and in other areas. So a big part of my journey now is really stepping into I'm here to serve on the biggest stage possible.
Well done.
The other day I
Well done, man.
Novak Djokovic follows me on Instagram, and I sent him a message the other day.
Dude, like,
and he messaged me back, and I was like, holy shit, like this is one of those surreal moments. Like one of the best tennis players in the world watches my videos, and I didn't conceptualize. I didn't really take it in. But up until then, I never really took it in. So now I'm kind of just going like, no, it's time for me to own this. Like, I want to step in. Yeah.
It's wild that you think like that with that tennis player, or even what I saw before this. That you're like, no, now I can be on the biggest stage. Like I do feel that energy off you, but I also, what you said kind of nearly vibrated with me. Like you're like, none of it's real. Yeah. Like none of it's, so the fact that you're able to ground yourself, bring yourself back to reality.
Yes. It's important. It's important.
Huge.
For sure, 100%. Yeah. And I have people around me to make sure that, my head's not getting too pulled up into this, like, of course, social fucking identity or the digital identity or whatever. But at the same time, I have people around me to make sure that I'm like stepping into this next level of leadership and confidence inside of me, because that's what's needed. I mean, that's needed for the mission that I'm here to serve.
Do you like? And again, I'm more asking advice when, like, because things like things are like when things are going really good for you. Like Jordan's on top of the world. Like everything is clicking. Like, how do you bring, like, if you feel like you're losing the run of yourself, and it could be in a variety of ways, how do you bring yourself back? Yeah. Like, and I'm talking like you might have like missed a prayer or a meditation, or you're not doing your daily ritual. Like, how do you bring yourself? How do you center yourself?
Yeah. Right now, I've learned it's really important for me to have, like, I'm working with a coach right now who's he's amazing for me, so good. I realize I'm the best when I have fucking A players around me and coaches who can 100%. Really, like, I'll hit him up and be like, man, I'm in it right now. I'm just feeling this. Yeah. And sometimes he will just offer me a perspective, right? It's just sounding board to, instead of just wallowing in my own shit, share with someone, this is where I'm at. And if you got a good coach in your corner, they can offer you the guidance that you need,
Sometimes I don't know. When I was really bad, I didn't know how to actually know how I'm feeling. I didn't know what Patrick is feeling at all, which is so scary, dude. Because you're so removed from reality and your own reality. Yeah. Like, do you find it now where you're at? Do you just find it easy to share, like, with that coach that you have? Like, it's like, I feel like you just blurt it out, or like. Yeah.
I've just gotten a lot better at that. I think probably culturally, growing up in Australia, we didn't express our emotions very well as men.
Of course, man.
So you just internalize it all. And when you internalize everything, then you're just carrying this burden, this emotional weight around with you. And that's when your mind starts turning on, at least my mind starts turning on me at those times. See, you're not doing enough. See, you're fucking failing. See, no one wants to work with you. Like, my mind does all that stuff. And when I notice that happening, it's usually a sign I need to get outside of myself and just let some support come in. Allow myself to be supported.
I love that you've said that, because you've kind of brought me back to a moment 2 days ago. I got a text from this girl that she was ending it, and I knew it was coming. Yeah. Like when the jig is up and it's on its way out. Yeah. So the text wasn't a surprise. Still hurts to get it.
Of course.
But I was putting up posters, and there's one up there of like the WhatsApp group that I was doing. Yeah. I had got like I started this group. It's gone to whatever, but. Like, I did it because I want to meet people and connect with like-minded people. Yeah. And like you said, A players, there's people who think the way we do. And I was like, I had just got the posters printed, and I was like, old school, man, putting them around the town here.
That's awesome.
And like, I love that. Like, I am a hustler, dude. I know, like, deep down, Patrick, no matter how I'm feeling, I will hustle, for better or for worse. But in that moment, I got the text, I read it, I'm processing it, and I'm putting up the poster. I'm on my own, because sometimes I'll try to do stuff on my own without asking for help. And I'm putting up the poster and I'm tying it around a pillar, and it was like hard to get it around the pillar. And then this random gent of a man from Costa Rica who was waiting for a bus literally just came over and helped me do the poster.
Wow.
And I was like, if that wasn't divine timing and humanity at its most beautiful, I don't know what is. That was lovely. Just like a really, really beautiful, kind moment that helped me.
That's so special. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's the little things like that, that remind you. God is good, man. People are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, expect the best in people, I really believe that.
Do you know, like, there's, like, I really, like, I heard it, and like, maybe we'll wrap up now, but the one thing I heard it from Timothy Chalamet, and it was about, don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but anyway, he goes, like, the world you want to have, you need to give that out. So what you want from the world, you need to give out yourself.
Yeah.
And do that so much, man. I try the littlest things just to make people's lives better.
Nice, bro.
And but what's fucking crazy, you described it at like a huge level.
Yeah.
For me, man, after doing that like 7 months or 8 months to make myself feel, it's so weird, dude. People will start coming up to you and talking to you.
Yeah.
Just randomly.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I can give that out to the world. So, and I get that back. So,
it's beautiful, man. Well done.
Yeah.
I mean, keep going, man. Keep going. Like, it really is it. If you're bringing that energy out, like, only good things can come back, honestly.
for sure.
Yeah.
Jordan, thank you so much, dude.
Thank you,
Your
man.
last day here, I really, really appreciate the time, and I would love to do another interview with you in like a year's time to see where we're at.
Hey, let's stay in touch. I agree. It'd be cool to kind of run it back, and what a great way to close it out, brother. Appreciate you facilitating this. It's been fucking
and
awesome.
thanks for being so open for me to shoot my shot and come up to it. Seriously.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Cool. That's it.
Mate, killer.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh man, that was great.